From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
American Door Company has been family-owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way up to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
Happy holidays from Weather NorCal and our sponsors. Have a wonderful holiday season.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger, Weather NorCal. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening. You know, things are starting to dry out there for most of us, and I do expect this drier weather to continue at least through Friday for most of us. And I say that because there's a little kink in the forecast for tomorrow morning. The North Coast, Siskiyou County, even Trinity County may see a shower tomorrow morning. After that, it's dry for the rest of the week, but after that, we go into the weekend, we got more wet weather in the forecast. And that wet weather pattern is going to start this weekend and most likely last through most, if not all, of next week with off and on showers. Oh, and by the way, this Saturday is the winter solstice. It's the first day of winter. It's the shortest day of the year, at least it's the day that we have the shortest amount of daylight. Then after that, the amount of daylight gets longer and longer. All right, so let's get you through Krueger's quickcast here for your December 17th, and we're going to start off with what we expect here for tonight. Now, we are going to be looking at clearing skies. There could be some more patchy fog, even for the Sacramento Valley, but I think most of the fog is going to be confined to the mountain and inland valleys. But as you can see, it's going to be colder tonight, especially in the mountains here to the east, with some 20s in there, low 30s, and for the valley, we're dropping down to the upper 30s, low 40s, and there's some of that fog we could see in Trinity County. And temperatures in the upper 40s for your overnight lows tonight for the coast. Now, we'll get you out the door for tomorrow morning. And yes, it's going to be another chilly start. But, you know, the valley starting off with some clouds. Again, maybe some of that patchy fog. The north coast, yeah, they're seeing some showers. And eventually, some of those showers making their way into possibly Trinity County, maybe Siskiyou County, seeing some of that as well. And that's all from this storm system right here. Now, what you'll notice here as we look at the loop of the satellite image here is look at this band of clouds. You see how it's starting off like this, and then we're beginning to see it tilt more and more from southwest to the northwest, from southwest to northeast, that is. So we're seeing it tilt more. That's because high pressure is building and is pushing those clouds and the energy up to our north. However, this storm system may be just strong enough to bring some showers and break through that ridge early tomorrow morning. So here we are tomorrow morning at 5 a.m., I think most of the rain will be in Del Norte County, western Siskiyou County, and northern Humboldt County. You can see where most of it is. Let's take you through the morning hours. It tries to shift down to the south and east, and parts of northern Trinity County may get in on some of that. But you can see already by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, it's pretty much done with. And then we're really actually starting to kind of clear things out for most areas, with the exception of the coast, keeping those low clouds and some of that fog throughout the day and even into Wednesday night. So for tomorrow, I'm expecting, we'll call it partly cloudy for the valley. It's getting warmer too. We're back in the mid-60s for the valley. And for the mountains in the 40s and 50s. And for the coast, we're talking temperatures upper 50s, even some low 60s for some of those warmer spots. So your 7-day outlook for the valley. You see how it's dry through Friday? There's that wet weather pattern kicking back in again. Saturday through Tuesday of next week, we're looking at a chance for off and on showers for the valley. That's the case for the coast. Again, some of those morning showers, and some of those could make their way into Trinity County. But I think most of it will be on the coast, and then inland, and then chances are slimmer for Trinity County. But then dry for Thursday, Friday, and there's that wet weather pattern for the weekend early next week. And now for Siskiyou County, I've got that slight chance for morning showers, especially central western Siskiyou County for tomorrow morning. But I think Modoc County and the eastern mountains will most likely be dry through the day tomorrow. Dry through Friday. Look at the snow levels too. Now they're going to start off probably around 6,000 feet, maybe getting a little bit lower than that at times, but for the most part 5,000 to 6,000 feet. But then by Tuesday, you'll notice the snow levels are dropping down to about 4,000 feet. So we'll probably see a slight dip in those snow levels by around Tuesday of next week. All right, that's Krueger's Quickcast. If you got what you needed, hope you have yourselves a great night. If not, stick around for a deeper dive forecast. Before we get to that, I do want to remind you that some people have mentioned that they missed watching me on TV. But you can watch me on TV. If you have most likely, if you have a newer TV, you can watch on your TV from your smart TV. Just go to on your TV, the YouTube app, search for the Weather NorCal YouTube channel, and you can watch not only the 24-hour streaming channel, but my latest video too, latest forecast video, all of the videos that I have on there. But also if you have a Fire TV or a Roku, just download the app for free there, press play, and you're watching the 24-hour streaming channel. Just search for Weather NorCal in those app stores. So again, I got a 24-hour streaming channel. You can watch me and of course all kinds of other great programming on there as well. Your neighborhood forecast, the works. All right, so here's a look at your satellite image. That's the cold front that is approaching right here. As that cold front pushes eastward, it is going to be able to eventually break through that ridge of high pressure. And of course, as we saw earlier, there's that rain coming in tomorrow morning, most of it to the north and west, and then it fizzles out before the noon hour. Clouds breaking apart as well. So we'll call it partly cloudy skies, but mostly sunny, more sunshine for the rest of us. There's the fog along the coast, but that fog will start to dissipate as we go into Thursday morning and Thursday afternoon. This storm system right here, it's approaching. The showers are trying to move in. The clouds are starting to move in Thursday night, but it's not going to be here probably until Friday night into Saturday. It's going to kind of stall out because that ridge of high pressure is going to hold on. So through midday Wednesday, look where most of the rainfall is, to the north and west where it was showing it. Now it might be overdoing it for Crescent City, but you get the idea. This is where we're going to see the bullseye of the heaviest rainfall. Everyone else is going to be dry. Then we advance this into Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, it stays dry because we don't have any more rain in the forecast until most likely Saturday. So again, what we have here is this ridge of high pressure, but as that cold front passes through, it'll be able to break through that ridge. It creates this little kink right here, otherwise known as a short wave. That is the cold front right here, and that's passing through northwestern California. That's what we saw in Futurecast. But then it dries out. High pressure is that dominant feature here through Friday. You see that ridge right here. That ridge on the west side acts like a brick wall. So these storms butt up against that brick wall. They have nowhere to go. They either dissipate or the energy gets pushed up to the north. Now there's still some clouds that'll be filtering through, so there will be days we see more sunshine than others through Friday. But then eventually this ridge shifts to the east. Watch this storm and watch this one. This one right here, that's what's going to be coming in on Saturday and Sunday. Right here is a look at Sunday, that storm system. Watch this storm system. Again, the storm door is wide open now because we no longer have that ridge of high pressure in place. So these storms that are over the Pacific, we're welcoming them with open arms. So as we go to Monday and even Tuesday, actually we see a bit of a dip right here, another short wave, if you will, a trough. And this will actually bring in some of that cooler air. So remember when we were looking at that 7-day forecast across the region, it was starting off around 6,000 feet with these first storms. But by Tuesday, we've got this trough moving in. This is going to allow some cooler air to kind of cool down to the south. And that will allow our snow levels to probably drop a little bit as well. Now, that's probably not very good news, especially for those of you that might be traveling on Christmas Eve. This is Christmas Eve that we're seeing here, which would mean probably some lower snow levels, and that could create some chain requirements. Okay, but then that moves on out. Christmas Day for now looks dry, but then eventually you see all of this moisture that's going to be kind of shifting down over us, bringing us more rain by the day after Christmas and probably even thereafter. So, I mean, a lot to watch here, but bottom line is this. It's dry through the week, rest of the week for the most part, with the exception of tomorrow morning to the northwest. And then we've got more wet weather coming in for this weekend and through next week off and on. So taking a look at the rainfall outlook, and this is through Monday. This is not including what we'll see Tuesday and then again towards the end of next week. We could see another 2 to maybe upwards of 3 inches of rain for the valley. About the same for the coast, maybe a little bit more. And where we typically see less rainfall will be off to the north and east, but some decent amounts of rain heading our way. And the Climate Prediction Center has us in that wetter than normal category. Smaller chance of seeing above normal rainfall, better chances as we get into these darker shades of green. That's essentially what we're looking at here. Okay, so again, slim chance of seeing above normal rainfall, but better chances as you start getting those darker shades of green. And that's where we are. We got those good chances. Now remember, I was talking about those snow levels staying fairly high. We're going to be looking at above normal temperatures. That'll keep those snow levels fairly high. But again, as these troughs move through, That allows some cooler air to move in, and that will allow the snow levels to drop as well. So a lot to monitor for next week, especially if you do have to travel. We'll certainly be watching that very closely, and we'll get a better handle on the timing, the intensity, the snow levels, the works as we go through next week. But here's what we have with the winds. It's going to be fairly gusty again through tomorrow morning along the coast, but then as we go into the afternoon, the winds die down for the coast as well. And we keep those winds down for everybody, even through your Thursday, maybe getting a little breezy in some spots. Looking at your wave heights through tomorrow, we're not going to see much change there. Let's take you into Thursday. They drop a little bit, but really not by much. Now, when we look at your marine forecast, we still have that small craft advisory, and it will be in effect through tomorrow afternoon. But you'll notice the winds are dying down. They're from the south at 5 to 10 knots. Your waves, also not as bad. They're from the south at 5 feet at 5 seconds, and from the west at 10 feet at about 12 seconds. All right, so let's take a look at our forecast again for tonight. Upper 30s to about 40 in the valley. It's getting colder for the mountains. We're talking some of us getting down to the 20s. And for the coast, we're looking at temperatures dropping down into the upper 40s. There's going to be some patchy fog out there. We look at Trinity County here for tomorrow. 53 in Lewiston, 57 degrees in Big Bar. There's Ruth at about 61. Maybe a morning shower, but otherwise dry Wednesday through Friday. Snow levels 6,000 feet, dropping, getting lower by next Tuesday as that trough moves through, that cooler air. 63 for Blue Lake, 64 degrees in Garberville. Again, some of those morning showers for the north coast. We'd take you up to Klamath with a high of about 61, as well as Orleans and Hoopa. And it looks like Willow Creek, a high of about 62 degrees. Your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, so especially central western Siskiyou County, maybe a morning shower. But otherwise dry for Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, Friday, and then more wet weather for the weekend and early next week. Your Mona County neighborhood forecast, I'm keeping you dry for Wednesday morning. If you see a stray sprinkle Wednesday morning, don't be surprised, but you're mainly dry tomorrow. You're dry through Friday, and then of course that wet weather over the weekend. Your eastern mountains, you're also dry all day tomorrow, including the morning through Friday. Temperature is just kind of hovering in the mid-40s, give or take, for the next 7 days. And your valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamuth Painting. Your temperatures in the upper 50s to around 60. Temperatures getting a little bit warmer on Thursday, and then they drop back down to the upper 50s by the weekend and early next week. Now, it'll be a bit warmer to the north with 65 for Redding, 64 degrees, that is, for Cottonwood and Red Bluff, and 65 degrees in Bella Vista. Looking at your 7-day forecast for Redding, well, we are seeing those temperatures mid-60s for your Wednesday and Thursday. Low 60s on Friday, and then mid-50s by the first day of winter, the winter solstice, and then off and on chances for rain as we go through the weekend and even into Christmas Eve. That's your evening update. I'll be back again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. and live on Coffee with Krueger at 7 a.m. Have a good night.
At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too. Because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.